Akwa Ibom State Governor dissolves cabinet, replaces all commissioners. Appeal Court bars Federal High Court from dabbling into Kano Emirate legal tussle. Federal government receives $52.88 million recovered assets linked to Diziani. On the foreign scene, United States Supreme Court rejects Trump's bid to halt hush money sentencing. Hello there and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you for joining us. News in detail. Governor Umar Eno of Akwa Ibom State has dissolved his cabinet, saying he needs to bring new persons on board. Speaking during a valedictory session at the Exco Chamber on Friday, Eno said none of the commissioners underperformed. The governor, who stated that though all of them delivered on their responsibilities, said they have to go for a new set of professionals to be brought into the government. He said a valedictory dinner will be held on Friday evening at the Banquet Hall, Government House, Uyo, in honor of the outgone Exco members. Most of the commissioners have been in office for almost 10 years, as some of them served under former Governor Udom Emmanuel. Now, supporters of the 16th Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II, have come out en masse celebrating the recent court judgment on the Kano Emirates tussle. It was gathered that the Court of Appeal in Abuja has struck out the 15th Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, fundamental human rights case against the 16th Emir of Kano, Malam Muhammadu Sanusi II, for lacking in merit. The court rules that the issue of jurisdiction raised by the first respondent, Aminu Ado Bayero, is dismissed for lacking in merit. The appeal court decides that the federal High Court, had no business to dabble into the matter that relates to Kano State Emirate Council law. When the Emir came out at the Gidan Rumfa Palace on Friday, he was greeted to a rousing welcome by teeming supporters chanting praise songs and hailing the victory. Still in Kano State, former secretary to the Kano State government, Abdullahi Bafa Bichi, has threatened to unveil details about Governor Abba Yusuf and his political mentor, Rabiu Kwankwaso. Bichi said he had compromising documents, voice recordings, and videos that he would expose when the time is right. He spoke while addressing the public for the first time since being dismissed from his position along with 5 other commissioners by the governor in December 2024. Addressing his supporters on Thursday shortly after his return from Saudi Arabia, the former SSG promised to reveal the actions of his previous political allies.
I'm done with my work in good faith. Now is not the time to talk. There is a lot to say. There are many things written in audio and in video. God crossed our path with people that are not trustworthy. Time will come that we will bring things out for people to hear and understand who they are. They are not to be trusted. They don't know anything but deceit and betrayal. I thank the people of Pichi. You will hear from us in a short while, because what we want is to help people.
Now, elsewhere in the southwest region of the country, Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State has approved the appointment of Prince Abimbola Owoade as the new Alaafin of Oyo. The development comes 2 years after the death of Oba Lamidi Adeyemi, former occupier of the throne, and the crisis that trailed appointment of his successor. In a statement on Friday, Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Dotun Oyelade, said the governor had consented to the appointment of a new king, whom he said was chosen after extensive consultations and traditional divinations conducted by the Oyo kingmakers, the Oyo Messi. The commissioner prayed that his reign would bring peace, prosperity, and unity to the historic Oyo kingdom. He said the announcement ends the legal and social disputes that followed the passing of the former Alaafin Obalamidi Adeyemi III, who died on April 22, 2022. Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Ademola Ojo, urged the people of Oyo to lend their support to the new Alaafin. Now, dozens of persons are said to have been killed and several others were declared missing after suspected bandits invaded Baure village in Savannah local government area of Katsina State. Baure village is widely known as a bandits' den, where bandits have significant control. A resident said on Friday that the attack took place on Tuesday when the hoodlums were on a rampage, visiting house to house in the area. He said that during the attack, about 15 persons died on the spot, while several others were still unaccounted for. The police spokesman, DSP Abubakar Sadiq, confirmed the incident. In a related incident, suspected bandits were said to have laid ambush on members of the Katsina State Community Watch Corps in the same Baure village. Now, a notorious bandit leader, Bako, along with his fighters, were neutralized on Thursday by joint security forces in a clearance operation conducted on Batsari Forest in Batsari local government area of Katsina State. Security sources and the operation was meticulously planned and executed by the troops of the Nigerian Army, the police, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, and the Katsina State Security Watch Corps, with troops advancing into the bandit stronghold under the cover of dusk. In a fierce gun battle, Bako and his men were overwhelmed by the superior firepower and strategy of the combined forces. Bako, who was responsible for violent attacks and kidnappings that terrorized a number of communities in Katsina State, had, for a while, been in the crosshairs of security agencies in the state. His death, according to a local community leader in Batsari local government area, is considered a major success in efforts to tackle banditry in the area. Still on security matters, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, on Friday ordered actions against the attackers of the Nganzai Divisional Police Headquarters in Borno State. A Friday statement signed by the Force Public Relations Officer, ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, identified the dead two police officers as Inspector Bartholomew Kalawa and Corporal Mustafa Huzaifa. Adejobi said Egbetokun, after condemning the act, ordered an immediate and thorough crackdown on the perpetrators, saying that any cop killer will not go unpunished. The IGP also expressed deep condolences to the families of the deceased officers, affirming that their sacrifice in the line of duty will not be forgotten. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Police Force has detained a yet-to-be-named officer seen in a viral video with Wahab and Rahim, sons of billionaire businessman Chief Razak Okoya, abusing Naira. This was disclosed by the Force Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi on his X handle on Friday. According to him, the moment captured in the video involving the police officer is unethical and contrary to the values of the force, stressing that disciplinary action is underway to address the misconduct. Recall that last week, the video of the two Okoya sons abusing Naira had attracted widespread criticism, with many believing that nothing would happen to them because of their father's status in the country. As the video continued, it captured the mobile policeman holding bundles of 1,000 Naira notes, while the billionaire's sons danced and flung the cash into the air. Now, Lagos State government has raided many streets and seized several goods within the state. Disclosing this on social media, the State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, said the enforcement teams conducted operations across key areas and around the island to enforce compliance with environmental regulations and ensure streets remain clean and safe. He said the affected areas include The link bridge at Iyana Iworo to Victoria Island's busy streets, including Idowu Martins, Ahmadu Bello Way, Ligali Ayorinde, and more. The commissioner said the government remained committed to maintaining a cleaner Lagos. And now to other stories. The Nigerian government has received $52.88 million recovered Galactica assets linked to former Minister of Petroleum, Dezani Alison Madueke, from the United States of America. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, disclosed this at the formal signing ceremony of the asset agreement between Nigeria and the United States of America in Abuja on Friday. Delivering his remarks, Fagbemi explained that $50 million of the recovered assets will be deployed through the World Bank to the development of the rural electrification project, and the remaining $2 million will be deployed to the International Institute of Justice to expand the justice system and also counter corruption. Speaking further, Fagbemi noted that the asset return marks a milestone in the ongoing collaboration between Nigeria and the United States in combating corruption and upholding the rule of law. Now, the coalition of northern groups and civil society organizations have rejected the proposed tax reform bills sent to the National Assembly by President Bola Tinubu for legislative approval, stating that the bill and other related policies will deepen economic hardship, marginalize regions, and undermine national unity. Speaking at a town hall meeting on Thursday in Kaduna, the groups emphasized the need for equitable, inclusive, and people-centered reforms that prioritize sustainable development and the well-being of all Nigerians. The town hall meeting provided a platform for robust deliberations on the theme "Tax Reform Bills, a Catalyst for Economic Growth or a Burden on the People." It brought together a cross-section of policy makers, academics, civil society actors, community leaders, youth groups, and concerned citizens to deliberate on the implications of the proposed tax reform bills. Participants expressed profound concerns over the potential socio-economic consequences of the reforms, highlighting the heavy burden they may impose on already struggling citizens and businesses in the northern region due to the introduction of some economic policies by the President Bola Tinubu administration. Now, the need for the insurance industry to introduce flexible payment plans like monthly, quarterly, yearly installments for Nigerians has been advocated. An insurance expert, Onibokun Gbenga, who stated this, also said this will enable more vehicle owners to register for insurance. The report.
The Nigerian insurance industry, with motor insurance contributing a significant 114.8 billion to its over 1 trillion naira premium, holds vast untapped potential. Despite this, only 25% of vehicles on Nigerian roads were insured in 2024. Several factors, including inflation, fuel subsidy removal, currency depreciation, and the recent increase in compulsory third-party liability premiums from 5,000 naira to 15,000 naira, have deterred many from insuring their vehicles. Insurance experts believe that personalized customers' engagement is key to driving growth.
You don't pay on the vehicle that you parked inside. You pay on the day you want to use the vehicle. That one is not coming in this part of the world, but it's gradually coming in or coming up. So if my vehicle is not going out, I don't need to have insurance on it. So, but if I know that I will use the vehicle over the weekend, probably Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, then I will take insurance for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So there is a way they calculate the premium that it will not be so much telling on my pocket.
Vehicle owners and drivers expressed concerns about the high cost of premiums and the perceived lack of customer centricity from insurance companies.
The most confusing aspect of insurance in Nigeria is that people that do insurance, they don't explain to people in detail what insurance is involved. Because insurance, as you understand, we have different type of insurance. They have a level that each type of insurance cover.
A lot of people are considering that for the fact that if you are paying for comprehensive insurance, and sometimes if your vehicle happens to have some accidents, the times it takes for them to do the ratification for you to get whatever thing they are going to pay you, it takes a lot of time. So we are logistics, but we have to do it because it's very, very important to us. And when we know how it is, we cannot work for many companies to do your logistics.
Benga also believes that insurers can leverage data to offer personalized policy and improve customer experience through timely renewal notices and efficient claims processes.
And the insurance company as well should improve customers' experience. What do I mean by customers' experience is that if the customer needs an information about the policy he has taken, they should be prompt at reacting to the request. So then should there be a claim as well? They should, as a matter of urgency, attend to that claim.
By implementing flexible payment options, collaborating with authorities and prioritizing customer satisfaction, the insurance company can significantly increase motor insurance penetration in Nigeria.
And now to developments in business. Nigeria's headline inflation rate is projected to average 30.5% year-on-year in 2025 and settle at 27.1% by December 2025. According to the latest NESG Stanbic IBTC Business Confidence Monitor report, the forecast is based on the premise that headline inflation is expected to remain sticky in September 2025, but settle below 30.0% from September 2025 as high petrol cost gets smoothened out of the year-on-year headline inflation, barring any unexpected negative shocks to petrol prices. Inflation remains a central concern for Nigeria's economy, with rising fuel costs and currency depreciation driving up expenses across all sectors. The report further highlighted that business performance in December 2024 experienced a slight recovery due to seasonal festive demand. The current business performance index, which measures economic activity across sectors, rose to plus 0.77, an improvement from minus 2.74 recorded in November. On the foreign scene, the United States Supreme Court on Thursday denied a last-minute bid by President-elect Donald Trump to halt sentencing in his hush money case. The top court, which includes 3 justices appointed by Trump, rejected his emergency application seeking to block Friday's sentencing by a 5-4 vote. The court, in a brief unsigned order, said the burden that sentencing will impose on the president-elect's responsibilities is relatively insubstantial, and noted that Trump will be allowed to attend virtually. The court also noted that Judge Joan Merchan, who presided over the hush money case, has already said he plans to impose a sentence of unconditional discharge, which does not carry any jail time, fine, or probation. Trump is to be sentenced in Manhattan at 9:30 a.m. on Friday after being convicted by a New York jury in May of 34 counts of falsifying business records to cover up a hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels. The 78-year-old Trump, who is to be inaugurated on January 20, is the first former president to be convicted of a crime and will be the first convicted felon to serve in the White House. In sports, the National Sports Commission has redeployed 57 secretaries general and sports officers to various national sports federations, strategically repositioning the sports sector. The director of the Federation of Elite Athletes of the NSC, Olumide Bamiduro, who disclosed this in a statement on Friday in Abuja, stated that the 57 secretaries general and 5 officers had already been reassigned. He stated that the decision aligned with the vision of the NSC chairman, Shehu Diko, and the NSC Director General, Bukola Olokbade, which was aimed at revitalizing the sector. According to Bamiduro, the country's sports authority has ordered the Federation establishment and appointment department to follow through with the new postings. And that's about it on the news update at this moment. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs and documentary. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for your time. Join us again.